Vicky and John, it's so nice to see you again. You are representing and founders of Women That Fight. Tell me about your journey.
So Women That Fight originally started in 2023 as a clothing brand. And then we took a big break when we had a baby. And then we've come back in the last probably, 9 months?
9 months, yeah.
And we've kind of changed the ethos of the actual company itself, where it's not just a clothing brand now, it's more of a movement. We have sponsored athletes, we're now sponsoring shows and events, and we're trying to obviously help women get paid within the sport as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, obviously, I still get the blame for it. I know it takes two to get pregnant. But a massive break from, obviously, Women That Fight, and then we came back and started sponsoring athletes straight away. And our whole mission at that time was just have a team of just women, and then we see how everything around us was moving, and we said we need to do more for the community, not just for the women's side of things, but in events when it comes to obviously partnerships and that, and alliances and stuff. And yeah, so it's been amazing being back and doing what we've been doing.
Fantastic. It's really great to be able to chat with you both, Vicky and John, for the ENYO Submission Only Jiu-Jitsu podcast and the ENYO 7 event at Central Hall in Southampton on Saturday, the 7th of June. This episode is sponsored by Sports Grappling, who are professional production company specialising in gi, no gi and super fight and grappling events, along with their parent company Showtex. They are the production team behind some of the biggest combat sports events in the UK, such as Polaris, Professional Jiu-Jitsu, Cage Warriors, ENYO Grappling, of course, Meltdown MMA, Arnold Games, and many more. Go and check out all of the sponsors for ENYO 7 in the show notes. Vicky and John, thank you again for joining me. Talk to me about what it means to be part of the ENYO journey.
I think it's a fantastic kind of revolution for us, because we've been wanting to partner up with ENYO, considering they are the biggest female grappling show out there for the UK. It just kind of goes hand in hand with what we're doing as well. So having that kind of partnership with them and now collabing with them on this event is just fantastic. We're really excited.
Yeah. I think with Vicky as well, it's a whole 360. She was meant to compete at ENYO last year. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And obviously, I still get the blame for that because she got pregnant. She would say, unfortunately, right?
No.
But yeah, so it's a big 360 for us as a brand as well. And yeah, all of our sponsored athletes exposure that'll be competing in there as well. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's really interesting that ENYO and various other shows and events get put out there. We take an interest in them, and some of us never really truly believe that it'll come full circle and we'll be connected with ENYO in some way. And for you, it sounds like from potentially being offered a place on the Invitational, getting pregnant, thanks to John, and then working through your whole kind of business setup with Women That Fight, and then being a sponsor for ENYO 7. It really does sound like a fantastic opportunity. And you're right in noting the value of raising the game of women in the sport of jiu-jitsu. Talk to me a bit more about what the kind of female athletes and everyone you support for ENYO.
I think with the female athletes that we're supporting with ENYO, we see them for what they are, and it's amazing that now that they have the opportunity to be able to showcase their talents and everything that they've been working so hard for on such a big platform as well. And it's not just a show, it's exposure. It's then opening doors into other avenues for them and them getting the eyes on them that they deserve. So us having our sponsored athletes being able to go on there as well and having that connection, we're really excited because we see potential in all of them. I mean, we see potential in so many people. If we could sponsor everyone, we would. But having our sponsored athletes being able to have a place on that so they can then kind of grow themselves as a jiu-jitsu practitioner and being able to showcase everything that they've worked so hard for, to then it's like you say, it's like a come around. It's beautiful for us to be a part of, and the fact that we get to be there on the day supporting them as well as supporting ENYO itself.
Yeah, I think this is a big shout out definitely to Josie as well. When we had conversations with her, and we've said how we sponsor athletes, and we pick athletes that normally don't get the eyes that they deserve normally. And we've said, like, if that's something that we can do and get athletes in your show as well, on top of sponsoring the event, that would be amazing. That will give them opportunities outside of ENYO and obviously throughout ENYO as well. So Josie's just an amazing woman, to be honest.
Yeah,
she is amazing. I met her at the ENYO Foundation Open Mat and kind of fundraiser. It was incredible to be able to chat with her, because I met her for the first time at ENYO 6 and chatted. I was still a very new, young, in inverted commas, white belt, and just to see the passion, the dedication, and the commitment to building a community. And that's one of the things that is really important about women and jiu-jitsu. It's not just the individuals, it's very much about the community. Now, talk to me about the community piece and what that means to you both in your business.
Yeah, so in terms of the community side of things, we've started an initiative called the WTF Initiative, which helps athletes that are not sponsored by Women at Fight to get paid in tournaments, in super fights, or whatever it may be. This is how we actually ended up speaking to Josie about the foundation, and we said, let's create something together in terms of things that we sell as a company. We put all of our profits towards the WTF Initiative and also the ENYO Foundation with the ENYO line that we have on our website. So everything that we sell, we put back into the community. So most of our profits go towards the sponsored athletes and what we can do for the community as well. So yeah.
Amazing. Now, all of your products, we're talking about rash guards, we're talking about gis. Is there anything else?
Yeah, there's hoodies, there's bags.
Yeah, we've just kind of done a very proud moment, I suppose, for myself as well, is we've just kind of affected the spats, which we had quite a struggle with. I think a lot of companies do, just because there's so many things that could go wrong with spats, especially with all the different shapes and sizes of women. But we've actually managed to be able to perfect it now, where we are very proud of the product that we've brought out, and it's something that's very new on our website. And we've got a lot of great feedback from people that go to the gym and squatting in it, or yoga practitioners, BJJ practitioners, and they're all kind of raving about the fact that they are really comfortable and very durable and perfect.
We also brought out the kids line and a unisex line, which is choking departments. So we have kids that fight line and we have the choking department line, which again, all of the profits go towards WTF Initiative and just helping women in the sport to compete and get paid. And we've spoke to other men as well that's come up to our stores like, look, if you wear the products, it's something that would help as well. If it's not, obviously we are predominantly women, but we are also giving a nod to our alliances out there, like men that helped us along the way. I'm talking like I'm a woman. Men that helped us along the way, but yeah.
It's true. It's something that we wanted to do to pay homage to all of the men that are actually out there, that are supporting women, that are standing up for women's rights, standing up for women within their gym, speaking up when things need to be heard. So it's kind of a nod to them and also the alliance that they have. So we've got a lot of our sponsored athletes and their partners that train, and they are proudly representing the choker department together because they're like matching sets, and it looks beautiful for them to come together.
Amazing. And you are right once again, this is not a solo journey. Whether we've got partners or husbands or sons or just anyone else in our community, coaches and just fellow training partners, this is a collaborative event. And I mean, not just ENYO, but a collaborative progress through the sport of jiu-jitsu, whether we're competitive or whether we are hobbyists.
100%.
This is the ENYO Submission Only Jiu-Jitsu podcast with me, Lou Temlett, talking with all of the upcoming ENYO 7 competitors and sponsors. One of the things that would really help this show grow is by you subscribing on whichever platform you are listening or watching on. If you could do that for me right now, I would be forever grateful. And as always, go and check out the clips on YouTube and Instagram, also at ENYO Grappling. Today, I'm having a chat with Vicky and John from Women That Fight. So, talk to me about what logistics go behind sponsoring a show like ENYO and other events that you turn up to and support. What does it look like? Your day packing up kit and arriving at an event. Talk me through what happens.
Yeah, so a lot of arguments in the mats. So in our garage we have mats, and when we pack everything, if there's arguments, like, okay, quick round, and then pack everything in. But
Hold on. Is that between you and Vicky? Do you? Because I've seen you both sparring at various events, and it gets quite feisty, to be honest, Vicky.
Yeah, she puts my head into the ground type thing. So, but yeah, no. Jokes aside, it is a lot of checklists to make sure everything.
Yeah.
Make sure we have everything as well. It's like Christmas list. Checking it twice.
It can be very taxing, like mentally and physically, especially with everything that you have to remember.
Yeah.
So I think what we do is kind of on like a typical day where we're doing an event, we obviously wake up very early. We've got everything packed in the car the night before, but we do our checklists again to make sure that we have everything. We then hit the road. Yes.
Yeah.
I do. We then hit the road and you do the lovely driving to get to the events. And then we get there. It's more kind of then establishing what we want ourselves to kind of like how we want us to be viewed by everyone that's coming in, making sure that we have everything on show that we want to show, also making sure that we are delivering the message about the Women That Fight initiative, WTF Initiative, to make sure that information is getting out there so people can see it. It's communicating with everyone that comes to the store. It's making sure that they're happy with everything, that they're able to talk to us about
sizing, everything,
customization, all the things that we can do, what we are doing behind the scenes, and then kind of just having a great day. I mean,
I think we've ended up sponsoring athletes through events like this. Speaking to them and hearing their journeys and stuff, and we've sponsored athletes that don't even compete at the time, and then it's like helping them out throughout that journey as well, because as competitors ourselves, we knew how hard it was to just have that initial step to compete, and like anxiety. I mean, we were both different type of competitors. She was anxious. I was sleeping in the corner. And, but yeah, it's one of those things that like everyone's different. So we try to help them, get the exposure at the same time, have that courage to kind of, get on the mats.
I would absolutely vouch for you being friendly and open when I've seen you at events. And often I kind of turn up on my own and I don't really know anyone else. But seeing a friendly, smiling face, often when you're at events, you see stall holders and kind of, product lines, and you're never really sure whether to approach, how to kind of look without feeling like you're in a sales situation. But actually being able to see all the products and just chat is almost, Vicky and John, I will say, a lifeline for those that might be at events competing. They might be feeling quite nervous, but just seeing your friendly, smiley faces and just being welcome to chat. And I just want to thank you, Vicky, as an aside, for filming one of my competition matches because I had nobody else there, and I really did value it felt like you were part of my family. It was really a fantastic thing, and you made me feel very comfortable in that whole space. But it's amazing. Talk me through some of the designs you've currently got that people can expect to see at ENYO 7.
So we have all of our basic designs, which we've kept from the first time that we started doing WTF. They are kind of the hearty favourites out there. We've obviously kind of branched into more pattern designs as well as kind of motifs on them, because this is something that some people want kind of bold writing, other people want a picture. It really depends. So we've tried to make something which is for everyone. And we've now actually got our new ENYO line, which has come out, which has been debuted at the Open Mat, which you would have seen as well, which we'll be bringing on the day, which will be fantastic. and we actually have a new designs that are coming out specifically
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the designs, I think as a clothing brand, it's hard to kind of have that repeat value when you have a very good quality of rash guards. So you have to continuously create lines. I mean, we even had like an anime line, which is completely niche to the community as well. And, you know, I think, like we said, in terms of repeat value in buying rash guards, there's only so many basic you could buy. There's so many, you know, so we continuously create new lines. It's probably one of the biggest stresses. We're both quite graphically designers, like designing everything together. So she'll have a little piece of her and then I'll do my bit and, you know, we'll put them together. So yeah, I think when it comes to lines and stuff, it is important. I think as a clothing brand to continuously have variety and we ask our community as well, the Jiu-Jitsu community, what they want to see next. And they give us ideas. You know, we've recently collaborated with a gym up in Oslo. We created them a rash guard for their women only classes and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that is one of the biggest, probably not stress, but creatively what we do a lot of, creating new products.
I think it's nice as well when we do get collaboration pieces, or like our sponsored athletes, for example, we let them have quite creativity, like open creativity when it comes to some of their rash guards, because each of them have their own specific design on a one piece. And it was nice to kind of have their input and speak to them about what kind of things they would like, because then we get an idea and a feel for all the different types of, like, what women would like, all the different types of women, because all of our sponsored athletes are all completely different. We have a girly girl, we have a tomboy, we have someone who's very active, we have someone who's a mum. So it's
someone that's completely against pink, you know. And
exactly.
And I'm going to shout out one of our athletes here, Molly. She's created a line with us that's going to be coming out soon, and it's for mothers and fighters alike. So that's one of the things that we value as well when we've sponsored athletes. We've always said, look, we're going to give you creative jump on anything as well if you wanted to try certain things, because at the end of a sponsorship you never know what you do. You never know if you're going to have your own clothing brand, and you know, we've given them all of the tools that they could get. And I think creatively they're very, very good as well. So
it sounds like you're giving so many women in the sport, especially the ones that you sponsor, the opportunity to have their own style, because we all fight in very different ways, and being able to reflect that in the things that we wear. My collection of rash guards is growing. Little did I know when I was a white belt that I would have a number of rash guards, but now it's joyous. I'm always wanting to wear the Christmas one in the middle of summer, but that's another story. I might get thrown off the mats. I might or get subbed more than I should do. What really does ENYO mean to you in a few words?
I think for me personally, it's like an equal opportunity, but at the same time, amazing exposure for women. I mean, there are shows everywhere, and they do mainly showcase men matches, and then obviously they do have the women matches on there. And you can see the kind of the ethos growing with all of these events that are starting, like all these super fights that are now coming out, all the ones that have been going on for a long time. They're having more women cards on there, which is huge, and it is amazing to see it growing. But ENYO being the first and only competition which is purely for women and giving them that stage that they deserve, it's really heartfelt for me, because I felt like I didn't have that. And then when I finally got to see that there was something like that within Jiu-Jitsu, it was just incredible, and it's inspiring, and it does make you feel empowered as a woman. So
I think for me, I didn't really see it before until I was part of it. ENYO is definitely one of the biggest, if not the biggest, women-only tournament, and it gives women exposure, empowerment, and everything like that. I mean, as a brand, we've said no to events that only had a couple of women in the cards. So how are we going to sponsor an event as a women-only brand? Then you have 2, 3, and now it's changing. A lot of them has come up with to us and said, "This is how many women we're going to have." It's like, okay, we can sponsor that. We can help grow that as well. We've done matchmaking to make sure there's a lot of women out there. But when it comes to ENYO, definitely, I think it's empowerment, it's exposure, it's everything. I think, especially coming from blue belt, I think that's the hardest belt to kind of get out of and get exposure from. So there's a lot of blue belts out there. So it's very, I think it's amazing what Josie and ENYO does. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you both for coming on the show. I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the ENYO 7 event. If you haven't got your tickets already, go and check out ENYO Grappling. Go and follow the links, book your ticket. We would all love to see you there. Thank you, Vicky and John. I will see you on the 7th of June.
Can I just want to say one thing as well, just before we leave? Yeah. Speaking of tickets, we're also going to be giving away tickets for ENYO. Anyone that buys an ENYO rash guard, but the profits go towards ENYO as well. And we're going to be giving away tickets for that as well.
Yeah, we have 2 tickets up for grabs, and we'll be doing a raffle at the end of next week. So once you've purchased one of the ENYO rash guards, you'll be put into that raffle, and then we'll be announcing.
We'll see you there as well, yeah. Thank you for having us.
You are very welcome. See you very soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for telling your friends about this show. And as soon as this episode ends, I'd really appreciate you dropping the show a rating and a review. And remember, once again, you can go and buy tickets for the ENYO 7 event at ENYO Grappling, or, of course, on Women That Fight. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the ENYO Submission Only Jiu Jitsu Podcast.